Facebook recently revealed their own research showing social media's negative impact on kids and teens. So what can parents do? Here with, as always, helpful insights, we welcome back parenting expert Yishai Busi. Hi, Yishai.
Hey, Helen.
So let's talk about this, because how harmful do you think it is for kids to be on social media? And I guess it depends on the age and the kid.
It depends on the age, it depends on the kid, but there's another variable that we need to consider that's really important, which is how they're using social media and what they're using it for.
Oh, okay. Let's talk then, first of all, you say it's important to ease into things with your preteens when discussing social media.
Yeah, so I think of the middle school years as almost like driver's ed. Social media and the internet is just this, obviously, as we all know, this wild, wild west, and we have to give our kids training wheels. And I think when they're young, a little bit younger, it's an opportunity to have these conversations, to provide more involvement, monitoring, supervision, discussion, ease them into it. So if you do have a younger kid, like middle school age, maybe you start with one social media app, and you unapologetically, it's okay to monitor them and let them know, I'm going to check your phone every once in a while. I'm going to check your Instagram or your Snapchat, whichever one you choose, if you decide to do it that way, to kind of just make sure you're doing okay. So I think that's a really important way, when possible, if you do have a younger kid, to really think about, I just want to help you learn how to manage the inevitabilities of, there's going to be social comparison, there's going to be cruelty, there's going to be, feeling like you're missing out. There's going to be a lot of things that kids don't know how to navigate initially.
Right, absolutely. You also say it's important to be collaborative about limits and boundaries.
Limits are super important, but when we can involve our kids, it's going to have a lot more value, because there's a lot we don't know. We misunderstand, we assume the worst. And so, to the extent possible, talk with your kids about rules and try to come up with a solution together. For example, you might say, I'd like you to turn in your phone at night, because I've read and heard that's just really important. It's a good idea to not sleep with your phone. And your kid says, well, I want my phone, it helps me sleep. Besides, I listen to music and it's my alarm clock. So you say, okay, well, tell me any other concerns you have. They say, no, those are my main ones. And sometimes I like to talk to friends at night. So then you say, okay, well, I'd like you to turn it at 8:30. Maybe we could have you turn it in at 9, as long as you keep with that and follow through. And let's address your music. Maybe we'll get you some Bluetooth speakers or headphones that you can play through, make a playlist and keep your phone in the hallway. So let's work together. But if you feel it's really important, and I think it's very important, every expert will tell you, phones in bedrooms at night for adults and kids, it reduces sleep quality significantly. So work together with your teen when possible, and then follow through with the agreement. They're not going to like it, even if you collaborate.
Yeah.
But they're going to be a lot more likely to come on board.
Do you discuss what kinds of pictures they can and cannot take and put on social media? Because I know girls especially are really vulnerable about what their girlfriends look like in posts and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so this is one of the things that have come up in the news a lot. As girls are much more often on social media. They use it a lot more frequently than boys. And they're much more primed for social comparison. Girls are socialized to seek approval, to please others. And there's still, sadly, as much progress as we've made, girls are still highly valued by their appearance. Yeah. And so the social comparison is an inevitability. So that's another place. We got to have conversation after conversation with them about, one, not just telling them, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter what other people think. It does matter. And then validate. We all have experienced that. Anyone who's ever been on social media has found themselves comparing themselves to others.
Right.
Parents, oh, look at that family. Wow, they have it all together. Right. My family's a mess, right?
Right.
So reminding our kids about that and helping them maybe try taking a break for the weekend. Let's just to reset. And that's when some kids are better able to do that and recognize, you're right, I need to get off this for a few days or take it off my phone. And sometimes we need to set limits and boundaries for them, especially if they're younger.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm always amazed at the young girls who will use filters to make themselves look even younger. And it's like, oh my gosh, how do you live up to that just a year from now? We
need to remind them, you are comparing your insides to other people's outsides. This is a furniture showroom that you're seeing here.
Right.
This is not the real thing. We say that and they know it, but we need to remind them over and over again. 'Cause they
Okay.
forget.
Okay. And then you also say it's probably not a good idea to focus on all the problems of social media. You're always being negative about it.
Fast track to losing credibility with your teen is just talk about how awful social media is.
Right.
They will tune you out.
Yeah.
Because the reality is there are good things about it. And we need to acknowledge that. We need to validate that they are connecting with friends, with people they wouldn't normally connect with. They're finding their people. They're doing a lot of really creative and interesting things. They do get joy out of it. So we need to acknowledge that too. And not be black and white about it. The more we can kind of ask them about the good parts and interesting things, they're going to be more open about the problematic aspects of it too.
Shouldn't parents also educate themselves about the apps that are out there that they may not have a clue about?
Absolutely, because we just get these little sound bites. We hear this horror story that happened on TikTok or on Instagram or whatever.
Right.
And so then we think, oh my God, this is what's happening everywhere. So absolutely, learn about it. CommonSenseMedia.org is a great site where you can just get tutorials and info about it. Talk to your kids' friends too, really with an open mind. Tell me what I'm missing.
Yeah.
Kids know the problems on social media. That's the thing we've missed. They understand it. They're not naive to it. They just have a hard time sort of balancing the pros and cons.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep learning. I always ask my clients about these things because I don't know. I'm like, tell me about this.
Right. Absolutely. All good tips. Yishai, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Helen. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you too.